Hello everyone. We have this posting on Spectrum by Nico CIG looking for questions. Starts us live June 18th. Tech Talk with Benoît. There will be another talk with Benoît Beauséjour, this time only 2 hours. We will be discussing the recent release of Alpha 4.8 with Benoît Beauséjour, Chief Technology Officer, and Jens Lind, Gameplay Engineering Director, and the ongoing efforts to resolve present issues. Please limit all questions specifically to 4.8 related features and issues, and remember to vote up the ones you want to see addressed most. This is at the moment, most upvoted question by Apocalypse. What went wrong with elements that were working before and haven't been noticeably changed in 4.8, such as freight elevators, live support, and docking? I really dislike such questions. Mr. Apocalypse, do you really think that freight elevators, live support and docking worked perfectly before 4.8? For how long are you playing the game? Freight elevators, actually all kind of elevators, including personal elevators, ship elevators, etc. and docking is FUBA for at least 4 years by now. Yes, they work occasionally, there are patches where they are working better, but don't make it sound like everything was okay before 4.8. I am sure this question will be picked by CIG because it's such a harmless question. Yeah, everything worked so nicely before 4.8. What happened in 4.8? No, that's not the case. Second highest voted question by ThighBlade76. How come we are seeing regression in game mechanics instead of improvements? Things I'm talking about are freight elevators not working, docking ports not working, nav markers vanishing, hangar doors not opening. See, both are examples and are game breaking. What is being done to prevent this from happening and to ensure we are not seeing this anymore? All those game breaking bugs he mentioned are in the game for many years by now. Yes, occasionally there's a patch where those are working, or more specific, the first few days when we get a new major patch, those things usually work halfway decently, but then everything goes downhill. I think one of the culprits is Chris' love for PES. Chris thinks it's so important that he's been able to find the bottle, the cup, he threw in the woods 4 weeks earlier. No, Chris, this is not important. Players want to have a playable game. I think PES, persistent entity streaming, is one of the reasons why we have so much desync, so much interaction delays, so much instability in the game. It's not the only reason, but it would be easy to get rid of PES. CIG has to start to do aggressive cleanup. No one cares about a bottle he threw into the woods 4 weeks earlier. Chris is a dreamer. He might have some interesting ideas, but he totally fails at realizing how this can be done. It cannot be done without putting a huge strain on your database and your servers, Chris. Something we really don't need.
But the proper persistence is I go anywhere, I take my Elroy's cup, put it, get my coffee at the space station, I take it with me, I get on the spaceship, I fly to a planet, I walk in a forest, I litter, I drop it on the floor in the forest, I get off, I fly away, and then Sean flies to the forest and sees an Elroy cup when he arrives in that area. So,
and I grab it and I sell it.
Yeah, there you go.
But then you come back and you think that there's a bug in the game because it's gone, whereas in reality, Sean took it.
Yeah, so the second stage of the SOCs is the full persistence comes in with what we call the iCache, which basically will save out all the state and position of any item in the game when you move away from it. So if you have to, which is what's happening on the server right now, it streams out like what's there, and right now we're persisting it in the server's memory, but we aren't persisting it back to a cloud database just yet. And also have the entire system be persistent. So, if you drop a Coke can in a forest somewhere and walk away, that Coke can is remembered, the state of the universe is remembered, so unless someone comes and takes it, it will still be there if you came back even in a month's time or whatever.
Third highest upvoted question by Haim Delight. Desync between clients is worse than ever in 4.8. Players teleporting, running in place, and many more issues that critically affect everyday gameplay. Are there any plans to address this other than simply improving server FPS? Even with 30 server FPS, it occurs frequently. We have those issues even in Arena Commander, which is supposed to be much more stable, much more performant. However, this has changed in 3.18. Since 3.18, Arena Commander servers are somehow linked to live servers. And yes, one of the biggest issues right now are the massive desyncs. Ships teleporting over your screen, players teleporting, NPCs are teleporting. We have massive desyncs, even of players and NPCs, at walking speeds. Actually, Jared convinced Benoît Beauséjour to write an article about desyncs. This was 3 months ago. We still have nothing.
Can you hear me? Oh, hold on. I mute in case. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hi,
Yes.
we are live on Star Citizen Live right now.
Sweet. What's going on?
We just did a show about FPS combat and gameplay, and the overwhelming topic in chat was about desync.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I volunteered. Remember those big long posts you used to do on Spectrum about a really important topic?
Yeah.
I volunteered you to make one of those.
Okay.
And then
on these things specifically.
Yeah, on desync specifically, and what's causing it, and what our efforts to fix it. And
It's all good.
I realized I didn't want you to hear about it on Reddit first.
Okay, cool. So just a deep dive.
Just a deep dive on desync and why it's happening.
All things desync and networking.
Yeah, I think it's
Cool.
important.
How hard can
Sounds
it be?
good. We'll do it.
Sure. Sorry, can you hear that? Can you say that again?
We're good. I'll do it.
All right. Thank you, Benoît.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Bye.
He's never taken a call from you again.
Yeah.
He's never answering a call from me ever. That's it, chat. I just used up the last stroke I got.
By the way, we even have desyncs in instances. This totally blows my mind because CRG seems to think instancing is a solution for everything in the game. Instancing is a solved issue in MMOs for more than 25 years, but CRG even fails at that. See, for example, overlapping hangars. So you have one big cargo elevator. Okay, what happened now? What is this? I didn't spawn the pieces. Okay, I'm confused. Anyway, you might get some vehicles inside. Okay, are now pieces left. I guess 2 hangars overlapped. Okay, that's too funny. The fourth highest voted question by Johnny. When you say our physics is great, why is that so madly disconnected and out of touch with the player experience? Ships bounce like rubber, cargo crates and items leap into the air after you put them down, and ground vehicles can drive up vertical walls. The implementation looks anything but great to the players. I want to show you the Valaka tank. It's actually quite huge, but of course it has no use at all. It's just hangar decoration fluff. You can do nothing with it. You cannot even shoot at it. Oh, you can. I mean, you cannot destroy it, but you can move it with bullets, okay? Nothing in this game has mass. Everything has a mass of an empty paperback. Okay, I didn't expect this.
Not because our physics code is terrible, in fact, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know why Benoît Beauséjour said this. Of course, no one expects perfect physics in Star Citizen, but physics that look alright at first glance would be very, very welcome. What we see as physics in year 14 is just terrible. And it's not just the looks, because the lack of any mass simulation, any inertia, makes, for example, driving vehicles very hard. Because of this, we have massive oversteering, no feedback for the driver. But I don't think CRG will answer and pick this question, because it's not a specific 4.8 question. Physics are terrible in Star Citizen since forever. Especially after what Chris wrote. Yes, this is old, October 2012. But people read this, and people gave Chris money, bought chips, because of what Chris wrote. As someone that was taking physics at Manchester University before dropped out to make games full-time, I can assure everyone that the physics model is completely accurate and it's a full rigid body simulation. I know because I wrote the code. This wasn't even true in the beginning. And it's safe to assume that Chris never set foot into the university because Chris doesn't even understand conservation of angular momentum. This is 5th grade school stuff. There's a video with Richard Garriott and Chris doesn't understand anything.
Most of the time it's animation driven, right?
That's right.
So then the question is how you're going to do, you got to basically blend between animation stuff and then ragdoll, and
That's right.
when you're in 0G you got to do more of it, like if you impact something to the side.
Right, you got to keep the angular momentum.
Exactly, right. So that's
the hardest thing to get rid of, actually, is angular momentum.
Yes. Yeah, well, you could sort. Well, for dinner tonight, I invited Chuck, who's the head of Ilphonic. I invited him out to dinner. So
Excellent.
I can be like, Richard, tell me how
let's break it down.
Let's break it down. Let's figure out how to. No, because like literally, right? If you're like in 0G, you do enough, you'll start moving this way slowly, right?
Right.
And then you can counter it that way.
Well, you can speed it up or slow it down by how close in, but you can't stop the rotate. You can't stop the actual momentum. And so one of the fun things to do to somebody in 0G is you hold them out into the center of a room, and then you let go of them, because then they can't get out because you can't swim. Right. You're stuck because your momentum is sitting still.
Now, if I'm spinning this way, can I not do a counter move with my body and counter my angular momentum?
The inertia. So
in a way, right?
No, you can do a little bit of the cat move. You know how a cat can go from upside down, it can flex in the middle switch. Yeah. So you actually can do a direction facing change, but you cannot change your momentum without an external force. And so it's actually an interesting problem because inevitably, so if like in the movie Ender's Game,
if I'm spinning this way slowly and I twist to go the other way, what happens?
You'll still be your center of gravity will still keep going in the same direction, and that's why the Ender's Game thing, the part where you really can't do it very well, is when we launch. If you go go across the way, it is effectively impossible not to have a little bit of unintended angular momentum. And so by the time you get to the other end, you're going to be turned.
So unless you basically have a jetpack kind
unless you have some countermeasures, you could take, by the way,
we've got like in the battle dome. In the battle dome, there's a laser grapple thing. So on your gun, you can fire out, and it'll fire a beam out, and then you can pull it. So you basically
when you fire it, though, it should kick you back, including if it's not at your center of gravity. It should
no. It sends it's like think of it like a tractor beam. So it fires a beam out to grapple onto something.
A beam, okay, so not a hook.
No, it's
not a rope.
It's a beam, and then it pulls you towards it.
Perfect.
So you basically move around like that.
All right.
So we're just going to pull Richard up on stage tomorrow. I said, we haven't got the code yet, but we got Richard for you.
Let me get my spacesuit.
Quite possibly the best content we've gotten here. People will like that if you guys are okay with uploading that discussion.
Sure, why not? Why not? It's fun.
Link to this thread is my first pinned comment below. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. We are starting with my character standing just in front of the threads. Okay, Flickr, please move forward. Yeah, you are just getting dragged along. More, please. You take no damage, you are just getting dragged along. Okay, this is done.
Not because our physics code is terrible, in fact, it's great.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.